guys, welcome back to another Building Kashyyyk weekly segment. So guys, this segment's going to be a bit different actually. We're actually going to take a step, instead of going forwards with more building, we're actually going to take a step backwards. And something I didn't realize from last week's segment is because of the changes we're making to the base, the overall design, the fact that we're doing a lot more mountain terrain, I didn't think of some other things that actually need to be thought and prototyped before I can actually start really building up the mountains and continuing with the beach and into the forest area. Before all that can happen, we actually have to take a step backwards. And this actually happens sometimes when we're building. When you're building actually giant mocks, sometimes in the middle of it, you just come to oh, I want to change that, and so then some other things have to fall in line with that change. And so those things that have to change is because of the way we're designing the base behind me, the sliding doors that are going to be right here, that little arch, if you can kind of see that. Those who've seen the previous segment will know what I'm talking about. Well, I'll show that later in the video, but there is a giant wall, or an enclosing wall that has to go in and out. And so when that spreads open, when the doors are fully open, that creates a lot of space that needs to be there. So I have to build the mountains around and enclose for that space, for the doors to open and close. That's one thing that I didn't really think about. And another thing is the way the mountains are going to be slanted. They can only slant so much, because if I slant them too much, then it's the way you slant is it's going to continue taking up more and more space. So it's another thing we have to think about. And I think what we're actually going to do, we're going to kind of redesign a bit of the base in a kind of a different way. We'll go into it in a few minutes, but some changes are being made to the original plan that all the way back in the second episode or weekly segment. This is actually going to be changed. So in the middle of the season, I guess you could call this. Maybe we're not even at the middle yet, but we're getting hopefully close. Anyhow, changes have to be made. We have to step backwards. Another thing you may notice, this weekly segment's a bit short. Like I said, not too much building happened this week. The little things right here, didn't build any because it wasn't until actually today, Friday, that I got it took a week to get the part I needed to continue making more of these, so I didn't have time today to continue building them, but by next week I should have a few more built. But some other things I did touch on was the big tree. We're going to look at that, and some of the little architectures for the Wookiees. And also, you have the Wookiees and the clone troopers, but you have to also think about that enemy that they're going against, the Droid Army, the CIS. I haven't shown you guys much of my Droid Army collection, and the last Droid Army video I think I made was 2008, so 6 years ago. So a lot of you don't know what my droid count is. A Droid Army collection video might be coming this year, depends. But I do want to give you guys a first look at some of the some of the stuff I do have for the CIS Army as well. So we'll take a look at that. Bit of a shorter episode. I do apologize for that because not too much I could have done this week with some part limitation. Plus, like I said, we have to go backwards before we can actually continue building. So by next week, we'll definitely get back on that roll of building more and more. But this week, we had to take a step back. All right, guys, let's get right into it right now.
All right, guys. So just going to show you a progress update on the tree. Here it is right now. So it's about double than what I had last week. And not as much as I wanted to accomplish, but you can start it really starting to take shape here. Now I might just edit some things, like take these out right here and possibly put some more slanting like this into there to replace it, because like I said, the tree is going to go at an angle, and so what I'm trying to do is I want to get that straightness for probably up to here, and then from here on out it's going to slowly start angling brick by stud this way. So we're about that, or just about at that part where it's going to start angling. So by next week you should actually start seeing it take shape. Now while I'm going to be building the tree, I'm actually going to be I have these right here, these like bricks, and they're actually going to just stick out. And the reason we're going to need those is because structures like this, not this big, but are going to be attached to the tree. And so those supports right here will be right into the middle of the actual tree, so that'll be very cool. So speaking of this right here, so that's it for pretty much from the tree. Again, like I said, we continued with this design, and it goes all the way down there, and we'll put some Technic rods and really secure it. And I actually probably need to fill this in a little bit more, because I build it around and then I fill it up and then build it around and so on. So that's how that works. So that's what it's looking like. Pretty cool. Anyhow, so this right here, you may have we've seen this before, but I finally started getting back to working on it, and as you can see, it's actually looking pretty decent. I'm not so sure about the size, so I might make it smaller. We'll see about that. But yeah, having a bit of difficulty. I should put it in here. A bit of difficulty with the railing. I'm not sure if I'll even include railing, because I went back and I looked at the Kashyyyk's parts in Star Wars Episode 3, and I was looking at the part where Yoda is like, you know, just chilling with all of his people and stuff. All of these guys pretty much right here. You know, that Yoda's chilling on his like thing right here. And I noticed that there was no guardrail. He could just walk, and there was this little rail like under his feet, but there was actually no guardrail. So I may actually just remove the guardrail and just start building up from there. Because even, you know, if I include the guardrail like this, it looks really big actually, and I don't want it to look super duper big, because then it'll make everything look small, and we don't want that. We want to keep everything in a balanced look throughout the mock. We don't want things too big, too small. We want to keep that good look between it. Oh, so the other thing I'm going to show you guys right here is the Droid Army. So actually, I didn't know that actually a year ago I bought, like, there's 200 plus droids in this bag, and I forgot about it, and I actually found it like lying around down here, and I was like, oh, well, I haven't seen this in a while. So they're actually not built droids, so I have to build all of them. That'll be fun. I'll probably have some friends over. We'll have a fun night of building Lego droids. Woohoo! But anyhow, just want to show you guys that I have a pretty good size CIS army, probably a good 500, 700 plus droids. Obviously that doesn't really compare to a 4,000 trooper clone army. If we come over here, we'll see some more droids. These are actually last used in my Naboo mock, which was made almost 3 years ago. Yeah, I have, like I said, the Naboo mock was the last thing, so the Gunkins are mixed into here. And then these right here, I don't know if you guys ever have that problem, but the droid's arms and legs, the super battle droids right here, they constantly break. So I asked Lego, I was like, hey, can you send me over some more stuff? And they went ahead and did that. That was a while ago, but I just had to show you guys that CIS Army is definitely going to be big enough to take on the Kashyyyk clone troopers. And yeah. So guys, let's move on to some more stuff. Man, look at this messy work table. This is where I just like, what's nice is I keep everything on a base plate, so when I need to get on my computer and stuff, I just can put everything on the base plate and put it over here and off to the side, and then bring it back when I want to start building again. This is kind of my like experimental just place. You kind of want a little experimental table where you can just build all kinds of different things. But anyhow, so I actually took these off. That thing right there, sorry for the shakiness. That right there, I took these off. So if you were wondering what these look like, that's what they look like. I have a bunch of these, really great stuff. Anyhow, over here, I started building what's going to be the wall between right there. I started building it. Here's what I came up with. So here, obviously it's going to be a lot bigger than this, but a decent idea of what I want to do for the wall. So I have these Technic pieces, kind of like tooth pieces, and what will happen is that there'll be gears to move the doors in and out. Probably actually make it motorized, make that pretty cool. So that's what's going on here. Just a simple. I'm using 2x4 bricks. What's funny is for those of you who've been following me for a long time, 2x4 bricks is what I built my very first bases out of. I actually don't barely use any 2x4 bricks in that mock over there. So it's kind of funny to bring them back for this part of the mock. I actually had to order more because I have no idea what happened to my original ones. Probably somewhere in storage. But anyhow, so I'm just using that because it's a good thick brick for something like this. A pretty decent like wall door. I might add some more designs like some Republic symbols and stuff in. But again, this is just a sample design of the wall. So this right here is what's going to connect it, and as you can see, it's a good tooth connect here because it flush. It actually comes in flush right there and connects perfect. But take a look at this. If you can see right there, there is just the tiniest. Once this is flush, there's the tiniest gap. I don't know if you can just barely see the difference right here, right from that black plate to this brick. There's the tiniest difference. That difference makes the world on this. So I actually did some research on why this doesn't perfectly fit flush. And actually, what happens is, in order it to be flush, for the bricks to be flush, it actually has to close right about there. So it has to look like that when it closes. And I was like, what? Why? And it's just actually the design of these slope bricks. I was looking at it and just trying to understand how these come together, and that's just how it works, I guess you could say. So, yeah. Now another thing is, anybody who's seen the giant mock on Flickr, the giant Hoth mock, and I think he won my, I want to say second or third base contest. It was the giant Hoth mock. Great, cool guy, great Lego builder. I looked at his wall design for Hoth, and he actually made his electric as well. But if you look right there, his wall actually did the same thing, the same problem I'm having right now. It actually, you can't flush it. It won't flushly, I don't know, it just won't connect together to a flush point. Is the best way I can say that. So yeah. Also, this is a great example of what I'm probably going to do for Kashyyyk. A pretty big wall, not obviously this size, and the mountains are not going to come out that far, but it's a pretty decent idea to understand what's going to go on over here. So I just thought I'd let you guys know that not everything happens perfectly, and this is a prototype design, so I understand how I want the wall to come together. So it kind of sucks that it does fit flush, but it's because of that, just that right there just can make the world and screw everything up. So it kind of sucks, but so yeah, there's going to be, a small gap like that between when the wall connects. But most of the time the wall, or this door, giant hanger door, whatever you want to call it, I keep on calling it a wall, but it's pretty much a hanger door. It's pretty much going to be open all the time over there, so it really doesn't matter if you ask me. Of course, some people are just absolutely have to have everything perfect, but this is just a situation where you really can't do that without like using third-party stuff like adding paper or hot gluing parts to make sure they stay at a certain height, and then you just get into all kinds of other crap. But I'm trying to stay as purist as possible and not use anything that's not Lego for the actual building stuff. I'm not talking about custom figures or Lego figures here. I'm talking about just the brick buildings and stuff like that. Alright, so I think that's about going to do it. So, like I said, because of this wall, we actually have, I won't be able to build any mountain terrain, any of this stuff right here, until I know exactly how I want to build the wall. So yeah, so it'll probably be right here, and so you can imagine just a giant door coming out to like here can interfere with all this mountain terrain that's going to go upwards. So that has to be taken care of right now. So that's why we're taking a step backwards. Now the last thing I want to just go over, here's our original plan right here, guys. So we have, this is all the water, which we're perfectly on track with. This is the full beach, which again, we're perfectly on track with. And this back part right here is all forest, which we're working on right now. Now, right here was where the door is. The door has been moved starting from here to here, so it's pretty much directly in the middle right here. This is where it's been placed, and we originally had like mountains here and like a design, and then mountains coming over that design. We've now just decided to put mountains all down here, so this actually might come out a little bit more than I wanted it to. Now, the incline of the mountain line was here, so that's going to come over to this point as well, because it's all going to be pretty much at the same height. This is going to go further up. Again, taking a look at this, this is pretty much how it's going to look like. And because of that, you know, what I originally said is you have this part of the base and you have this part of the base, and there's going to be a separate part. I think we're actually going to take this line out and just make it all one big thing back here. So we actually might just make a second crane right here, because that would actually make sense. The crane could carry the gunship to the elevator that would be right here, and the elevator could go up. So that actually would make pretty decent sense. I don't know if that's exactly what I want to go with yet, but it gives us a better idea of what we want to do. And I think that'll give us, if we expand this to be the full like wide open base, of course we'll have like different sections, like little rooms and stuff. Maybe we'll split it in half, or maybe there'll be just a part over here. I don't know, we'll get to that when we get to that, but definitely gonna have to make some changes, no doubt about it. But right now we're just focusing on from here to here, just the actual, like, you know, forest area and such. So yeah, so we have to make some changes. We're going backwards, and I'm gonna mark the changes on here. Now that's done. Then that'll pretty much do what we needed to change. So yeah, it's gonna be do it. That's about do it, man. I'm just screwing up on words today. I found some more pick-a-brick cups out of nowhere. Some more white pieces, so that's pretty cool. And I also got another big brick link order. Let's see, it's over here actually. Big brick link order, some more parts and stuff. And I said I ordered my 2x4 bricks. I got some slope pieces. Pretty much stuff I needed for the mountains came in this week, but what sucked is I can't build the mountains until probably this weekend, or once I have the wall sort of situation figured out. So by next week there should be some more building, and yeah. Alright guys, we're going to leave it off there. Thank you very much, and let's end it off with the segment. Do be sure to stay for the end, because we go over quite a bit. So let's end it off.
Alright guys, so again, bit of a short segment, but anyhow, like I said, we went through the plans and we took a look at some of the structures and the tree, of course. Not too much building, obviously, but we had to take this step backwards so we understand where we actually stand at with building. Because you see, if I just start building, you know, what we had originally planned, if I hadn't made space for the enclosed wall, then we would have actually probably had to tear down the entire thing, at least most of it. So mistakes, you want to prevent mistakes like that, where, oh, I needed to include that, and shoot, I already built that and it's there, and so I have to tear it down and fix it all. So we have to prevent things like that, and so that is why this segment wasn't as much building, because I wanted to explain to you guys about this type of process that will actually sometimes happen to some of you while you're building a mock or a project. So it's something definitely want to actually take a look at and understand that part of this segment that I hope a lot of you can understand. Right. So last week's episode, I said that you guys could submit LODD files of your own designs for me to be included in Kashyyyk. It would only be a few. A lot of you just said yes, so we'll go ahead and do it. So in the link, in the description below, you'll find an email, Solid Bricks Studio, not studios with an S, that email was taken for some reason. If you have that email, contact me. I'd like that back. Anyhow, it's solidbrickstudio@gmail.com. It's just another personal email of mine. Anyhow, if you have an LDD design that you would like me to take a look at, include your name, the type of design, and the LDD file in the email, and also your YouTube username. Tell me whether you would rather you have your name or your YouTube username. If I like your design, I'll mention either one that you suggested, whether it was your name or YouTube username. So pretty much all the information you need is below. If you just check it down in the description, you find all the information if you want to submit an LDD file. I'll actually keep that information probably in future segments, so if it'll always be down there. If you know, that way you don't have to constantly come back to this video in the future. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. And next week, like I said, we're going to definitely get more into that building process. You know, last week we got a really far stretch into the beach, and we actually started getting to the forest area, got that tree going. Very cool stuff. And the last thing I want to mention is I've actually purchased some new camera equipment, more lights, new microphones, so you're going to hear me even better. Some really great DSLR equipment, and probably here, at least in another month, so in about 5 weeks worth of segments, I'm hoping to be getting a new camera, even better than my, right now I'm using a Canon Rebel T2i DSLR camera. Might be upgrading to a 70D, which is another Canon camera, really great. We'll see how that goes. If that comes, then I'll let you guys know with that. And the last thing I want to just announce to you guys is there is another weekly segment coming, and it's not going to be mock building, I'll tell you that right now. I'm not 100% about it, but I'm almost complete with the idea, so I'm not saying it's coming right now, but it should be very soon, so pay attention to my Facebook page and right here on my YouTube channel, because there's a lot more to come. Like I said, building Kashyyyk was only the beginning for this year of 2014, lots more. And also the last thing I wanted to talk about is, so some of you ask, you know, hey, once this is done, what are you going to do with it? Because I'm not going to be taking it to a Brick Fair convention. The answer to that is actually, after all building Kashyyyk weekly segments are done, we've built everything, this is all done. So let's say it's 30 weeks from now. I hope it's not that. Hopefully I can build faster than that. But for some reason, let's say it's 30 weeks from now. And so we'll be at like week 50 by then. Suppose that happens, and we're all done, and I've submit like the final video and of like all probably I have different ideas of the final videos. There's actually going to be multiple videos of showing off the mock. Like I said, once all that's done, what's going to happen is a 3-part stop motion brick film. Now, this is not. I'm not fully committed, but about 90% sure this is actually going to happen. Because of the amount of money and work that we're putting into the space, I think a stop-motion brick film would be something great to get some use out of it, other than all of these weekly segments. Some other things I have some ideas for, but those will be in the future. So yeah, 3-part stop-motion brick film. I've actually already got some outlines of what I want to do for each part. It's probably going to be 10 minutes per part, and it'll probably be every 6 months that a new one comes out. It depends on my stop motion. 10 minutes of stop motion is a lot, just for the first part. That's a lot of stop motion time. And if you guys watched my Halo brick film from last year in 2013, you know, that 2-3 minute video took me 9 months to make. But that was me introducing to a new type of stop motion. You could see that my stop motion quality in that was much better, and there's more effects and a lot of other stuff that was involved in that brick film project. So a big battle shouldn't be as hard, but it does involve a lot of work, and when more information of that comes, I'll let you guys know. But like I said, it's a rough idea that's in the works. Just thought I'd let you guys know about that. Alright guys, so not too much happened this week, but again, we took a big step backwards, looked at some stuff, analyzed it, and now we're going to move forward again into next week's segment. So I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, give this video a big video like. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. My purpose of these videos is for you guys to come off learning and having a fun experience watching a giant MOC like this get made. So I really appreciate a like, comment, share with your friends. That's a big thing actually. That way this video gets more views. Sharing with your friends does that process of social media for you. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in next week's segment. You have a great day, and bye-bye. Oh, one more thing. Subscribe. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.